All right, so welcome in today. We're going to dive into Polygon, do a full analysis for you guys, and give you a little bit of insight as to why Polygon is making some moves right now. We'll take a deep dive. My name is Paul Barron. Welcome back into Tech Bath. Let's take a look at Polygon. There's a lot happening right now. If you've been following Polygon and the overall initiatives that they have been instituting over the past few months, really about the last quarter, then you probably have started to piece together a little bit of their strategy. Now, some of the things that we've looked at and some people have looked at, why is Polygon pumping? What's going on with this? Most are looking at the story right here, which is Robinhood the savior that Matic was on the lookout for? A lot of people think that Robinhood and the listing and some of this whole aspect is that every time we get a big listing on Robinhood or Coinbase or something like that, is that the token just automatically takes a pump and moves on and gets a new level of a stair step. I don't necessarily think that is the case with where Polygon is going. I think there are a lot of other initiatives that they have underway that are guiding the course for this token. Now, if you look at some of the details here, obviously they've got this thing here, Polygon now on Seaport. There's a lot happening around that in the use case and why this is going to become even more important in terms of NFTs and really kind of the future of what I think, especially layer twos and the use case around what will happen when the ETH2 merge does occur, why Polygon is going to be so important. So Seaport's just one other domino in the component here. Here, this one from Crypto Potato. Opensea introduces Polygon support on Seaport, of course. This is where it kind of outlines it here. Now supporting Matic, Polygon's native token, as a payment option. So anyone transacting on Polygon now using Opensea will be able to require to pay for their own gas fees for transacting using Matic. So again, this I think, even though the market is down, you have to understand, sure, NFTs are in a cycle right now that we may see a pretty deep bottom and a pretty deep cut. But the fact that the framework is being set up for what could be a pullout on this market in terms of upward trends as we start to see the market correct, maybe not in the near future, but there are some key things that will happen over a very short period of time that will give us some indicators right here and why Polygon is moving. You look at this tweet right here, Polygon obviously was thrilled to announce a new and improved version of Polygon Wallet Suite. So that's another advantage that, again, could be leaning in onto what is happening with Polygon overall. And in addition to that, when you also look at this tweet, and we've had the guys on from Polygon Studios before talking about the future of gaming and really where Polygon stays and plays in this role. And I think they're in a big position for really kind of going all in. And if you look at this video right here, it kind of just showcases some of the components that they're going to be integrated in, are integrated into. So very, very mature in terms of where this is going, and it's just getting started. So a lot of cool stuff happening here, I think, that is continuing to drive. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that this is the driving factor of why we've seen some recent pumps with Polygon. And the real question is going to be where to potentially sell it. If you are on Polygon right now, kudos for you guys. Hopefully you're writing this up and you're maybe looking for an exit, take profits. And I'll explain a little bit about where I'm going with it here in a minute. But if you also look at this tweet right here, Polygon Studios partnered with DRESSX. This is the meta closet of digital-only clothes, fashion items, and AR looks. This will most likely start to play into bigger game theory around how fashion will play into the metaverse. Now, the biggest question is going to be, where is this going to be used? And I'll get to that in a second. There's some interesting things here. If you just look at some of DRESSX's features, you've got some pretty fantastic design work here that's coming in, and how this might play into the use case around the potential metaverse and what we'll see in terms of avatars and all that good stuff. All right, so we want to thank our sponsors today, and that is Gala Games. Make sure and check out their new film nodes, which are on sale now. You guys, of course, can do that just by going to Gala Games. And another thing they've got going, of course, is Spider Tanks, getting ready to release free to play. So this is a new feature coming out in terms of the game array that Gala is offering. So make sure and check that out. They do have the capability of also signing up for Gala Films, so you can actually be part of the community, start to learn a little bit more about all that. Make sure and hit the links below for more information and help the channel out. All right, so when you look at this tweet, we're introducing the ability to post digital collectibles across Facebook and Instagram. Recently mentioned the use case of Polygon and Flow, so that also caused a little bit of action on Flow. I think this is where it gets interesting because as we look at social really starting to integrate into use cases around things like what we're seeing right now in the terms of metaverse applications, this could get interesting out there. And it also, I think, could be a very intriguing tool as we start to see the phygital aspect of things, meaning physical, digital. We've talked about that here on the show many times and what that might mean into real world products that could be digitized and have a use case within different kind of environments. So a lot happening there. And then this is the area that I think might start leading into why Polygon is starting to make moves. I want to show you this right here.
So your new Oculus is awesome. It's very impressive.
Yeah,
It's very cool.
coming out in October. We're going to be talking about it at our Connect conference. That's coming up. Yeah, pretty excited about it.
It's so interesting when you put it on. So I'll just describe it to people. When I put it on, there was an avatar in front of me, and it was an alien woman. And the alien woman, when I moved my mouth, she moved her mouth. When I moved my eyes left and right, it's tracking my eyes.
So you can see here a lot. First of all, getting on Rogan, interesting that Zuckerberg was on Rogan in the first place, but the fact that he really utilized this as a springboard to talk about Oculus. And I think this mainstreams Oculus and what we'll see with Quest 2 and really kind of the future of what metaverse might be. It also framed up a lot of what use cases might come out with Oculus and obviously the connectivity to things like Polygon and others that we're going to really start to see. Remember, this time last year, we were really starting to move in to Meta's reveal, which was, as we all know, the big run-up for Metaverse and all the different kind of projects, gaming, etc. Really started playing into kind of the future of where all this is going. If you look at Facebook's Connect 2021, this is exactly where we were last year. This is where those major announcements occurred. This was kind of the, and if you think about this, just in short terms, this is only 1 year later. So Metaverse, sure, they have been, or Meta, meaning Facebook, they've been pouring money into this project along with many others in terms of their development. So sure, they got a lot done in a year, but at the same time, I think this is just the beginning of where the future is going to be going with this. You look at MetaQuest Pro, it is confirmed by the new leak. There's quite a bit here, and you can kind of see just some of the tweets here. The SD Market talking about MetaQuest Pro in terms of the devices going into. So this basically says we are going to get this. It is coming, and he mentioned this in the podcast there with Rogan, is that October is the date. So again, tied up to the Connect conference, all that tying into where the future might be going. Here's a couple other things here. Oculus Quest 2 sales jump ahead of the Xbox Series X and Series S. And if you look at this right here, let me zoom in on that a little bit, surpassed the number of Microsoft Xbox Series X and the S lifetime sales, and it's catching up with the PS5, most successful virtual reality product to date. This is a 242% sales increase just in the Q1 of 2022. So again, adoption curves may actually be occurring in the metaverse faster than I think a lot of people had anticipated, because we've seen some pretty bad wrecks in terms of gaming projects and a lot of different initiatives in the metaverse that are kind of causing a little bit of a slowdown, with exception of some of the leading projects, meaning projects like Flow. Obviously, we know what's happening here now with Polygon. And I do believe this may play out as we see Polygon take some ups and downs, but mostly on a stair step up is the way I'm looking at this over the next little bit of time. If you look at PlayStation, the reports and sources say that there is some supply chain problems with the PSVR 2, which would be meaning that Meta may get a first position out there as we start to see this roll out. So there's some things happening out there in the market that is hardware related that could really play into the crypto space and kind of the future of what's happening there. Just a quick run right here. Zuckerberg wants Oculus 2 to sell 10 million units. The first Quest hardly sold 1 million, so this would be a big leap. Here he kind of talks about the ecosystem perspective. We believe if we get 10 million units active, then that's kind of a critical magic number. I think that would also mean a lot for the development, not only of projects, but the number of just overall utility cases for Metaverse and many of the projects that are building right now. Because remember, this is the period of time where a lot of these projects are heads down, doing a lot of building, gonna be able to give us an absolute kind of new look and feel as we start to see crypto and digital assets come out of this recession and this crypto winter. So there's a lot of opportunity, I think, here. And it is, as I've said before, Polygon is one of my biggest asset classes that I hold, or assets that I hold, and for good reason, because I do believe in, one, the metaverse, but I also believe in some of the initiatives that they're really going on. If you also look back on our own channel, you can go back and check out this video right here. This is where Disney chose Polygon as into their metaverse incubator, so to speak. And it was a really good video because I think it broke down the points of what was happening with Disney, the connection into Polygon, why this was critical in terms of the gaming ecosystem, and what we might see in terms of Disney's use case for metaverse and the ability to integrate through something as powerful as Polygon. So again, just more information and a lot more around this. And if you look at something here on demo day, look here, this is Accelerate. You got demo day in October. Also, what else? You got Connect coming. Meta's going to be releasing the Oculus. You've got, of course, post-merge. A lot of things are lining up here, guys. And then you go on down into this same, I think it was this page or the next one. Oh, yeah, right here. Let me go over to D23. So this is where they talk about, this is Disney's big expo that they do, in case you guys aren't familiar with it. Let's go up here just so you know what it is. D23, ultimate fan event. But they have a really interesting point right here that I think will start to showcase that, and that is the games showcase that's on that Friday, September 9th. So that also is coming, that will, again, reveal some aspects of what we might see for use cases around Polygon and others. So a lot happening in the space right now. Meta, of course, has been kind of on this up and down trail right here over a little bit. I think it's in full disclosure, I purchased Meta here about a week, 10 days ago when it hit the $160 mark, 159 exactly. And that is, I think it's a good spot. You know, it's a good spot that we're probably going to see a nice little move on this. Again, not financial advice, but it is something that I'm watching very closely. And its connection into MATIC. Let me jump over here to MATIC real quick. And we will give you guys just a quick look at where MATIC is holding. So you can kind of see this upward move right now that we're really pushing on. I'm on the 4 hour. So right here, you've obviously seen exactly what we've been seeing. And of course, CPI data, interesting stuff. Make sure and check out our CPI, because this is something that has been spotted, was spotted down here around the 27th of August, where we started to see a little bit of a move on MATIC that gave us some up signals that, of course, now we've seen. If we look at that performance just since the 27th of August right there, and we're looking at that 17%, so a nice one. Now we do have a red candle painting out now, could be right before the weekend, but we're still up quite a bit on MATIC overall. Again, not financial advice, guys. We'll do these market movers. Sometimes we'll bring in charts, things of that nature. The goal on these is to give you a narrative and a research center to get you going in the right direction. And this, to me, when I look at Polygon, I think there's going to be some new entry points. But for those of you that are on a Polygon trade right now, this might be an interesting ride in a very short period of time, especially as we start to see October and September kind of start to showcase a lot of the evolution of where Polygon is going. So lots happening out there. Again, thanks again for jumping in on the podcast if you're listening in over there, but the best place to really catch all of this with our charts, our breakdowns, and really kind of these visual aspects that you need to understand and see, it's really right here on YouTube. This is the place to catch it all. So just search Paul Barron Network. You'll find us. Like a few videos and make sure and subscribe to the show, because it is going to give you a lot more insights and get you into your feed, hopefully notifying you when we do live streams, all that good stuff. If you guys want to catch me, it's out on Twitter at Paul Barron. We'll catch you next time right here on TechPath.